The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey boy, good morning.
How are you?
Hey, we're very privileged today because we are sitting next to a king. Literally a king.
Legend. A living legend.
A legend.
Yeah.
The king of the Crispelli world in the United States.
You promised not to give me the grease job.
We're not going to give you the grease job, but we got a lot to talk about. Peter Messina's in the house. We're going to talk to Peter.
You know what I thought he said?
What?
The Greek job. I was getting a little nervous over here.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, Peter's going to be spending the entire hour with us, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about some of his homemade liqueurs. We're going to talk about vino.
Yeah,
we're going to
wine.
talk about Via Grande, Sicily, rice balls, Crispelli's, cooking, sauce, all of that, Peter.
Why he hates restaurants?
Racquetball, because you're still playing. Which I can't believe you're still playing. God bless you. But first,
Yes.
welcome, everybody. Don't forget, by the way, that we are broadcasting from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, and we're asking people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just type in the Sicilian Corner on YouTube.
And keep in mind, it's free.
It's free, yeah. And we want to build up a base on YouTube. We're just getting into it. Chrissy is educating us on the YouTube stuff because, quite frankly,
We know nothing.
oh, I watch YouTube every night in bed.
Porn.
Not porn.
Oh, all right.
YouTube doesn't have porn, does it? Chrissy, does it?
I plead the fifth.
You know what I watch on YouTube?
What?
You know what gua sha is? Anybody know what gua sha is?
What is it?
Gua sha, Guasha, gua sha.
Was that Sicilian for porn?
No, it's a new deep tissue massage technique that is unbelievable. Chiropractors all use it now. It's called gua sha. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you got to check it out.
You like massages?
No.
Peter, how about you?
Yeah, I never had one.
You never had a massage?
No, I lie. I have one.
No.
I mean, you get a hot stone Swedish massage? Me. Let me tell you.
She's saying no.
What? You say no?
That's like beginner stuff. You need a Thai
Deep tissue.
deep tissue. Well,
I love the hot-
combination. So they a little bit deep tissue, a little bit like stretching. Holy moly!
So let me tell you what
Change your
gua
life.
sha
I
is.
love the hot stone.
Nah,
it
get out of
relaxes me.
Get
Yeah,
out of
okay.
here, please. Gua sha is a continuation of what she's saying. What they do is, it's unbelievable, Chrissy.
Mm-hmm.
They give you that deep tissue massage, and I'm talking about they get in there.
I got a broken back. How the hell can they do that to me? I can't. I got to go
You tell
something
them
a little bit.
gentle.
I have to do something a little bit
But
more.
then,
Yeah.
let me tell you what the gua sha part of it is, Peter.
Are you saying that word correctly?
Gua sha. It's Chinese. Gua sha. What they do is
It's authentic. Listen to him.
they take.
I think he's hogging me myself.
Can you shut your mouth for 1 minute?
Oh,
and
how do you
listen?
like it? When you
Fine.
interrupt me all the time, it's okay.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
what
you're
are we
right.
throwing an attitude now?
What they do is they take this like oil or something, some kind of a
I don't
cream.
care. I don't care.
All right,
How many times
won't-
do I got to tell you?
all
I
right,
don't care.
I won't explain what it is.
All right,
then.
don't.
All right, I won't. What they,
So, Peter, what else is going on? Have you ever heard of that?
No, I must come from the. I come from the
can I
port.
explain what it is?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
What they do is they put this cream on your back, some kind of a liquid, just to make it smooth. Then they take these scrapers, but they're not sharp. They're like rounded. This is unbelievable. And they go.
Where did you get this?
I just told you. I've learned about it because a chiropractor told me, and I've gone online and I'm learning about it because it's amazing. What they do is this, Chrissy. They take a scraper, a couple of different kinds. You can buy them on Amazon. They're smooth.
And they exfoliate your skin?
What they do is they start rubbing on your
With
back.
the hair on your back, how can they do that? You got a back that looks like a freaking rug. It looks like an Afghan.
I'm not talking about me.
Oh,
Oh, he's wound up today.
I'm not wound up.
You're wound up today.
No.
Okay. Can I finish?
Contraire, mon ami.
Can I finish explaining?
Yeah, maybe by the end of the hour we'll know what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he keeps
Maybe
interrupting
we'll
me.
drink some.
How do you
booze.
like it?
All right, forget it. Let's move on.
Come on, all right.
Oh. So what they do is they start scraping your back.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, if they're in an area that doesn't have what's called petechiae. Everything, it just gets red. But there are certain areas that all of a sudden, on your back, using your back as an example, that gets little purple, that gets purple, actually purple in little small areas. And what that is that is the blood that's the blood in your system that has become stagnant. And they're bringing it up to your skin surface so that the blood flows through your body better than it does. It's absolutely amazing. Doesn't hurt. There's no pain.
I never heard of it.
And in 24 hours, it goes away. It's really cool.
Are they offering that in regular spas now?
I've not heard of that one. I get cupping done.
The cupping,
same thing.
The cupping's the same thing.
The cupping is the same. Does the same thing. The
Yeah.
cupping does the same thing.
I love the cupping is great.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I look like I've been attacked by an octopus.
And it doesn't hurt, right?
Not really. Like, so it depends how deep you get.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's
it
the
can
same
have a
thing.
little
It's the same thing as the
pressure.
cupping. So you
That's
know about the
interesting.
cupping then?
I do. I like it.
Oh, you've had that
I've had it done.
Do you get those marks on?
I had it done at Mohegan Sun. Yeah.
They look like hickeys all over your back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they look like. All right, let's talk to
You can
Peter.
only wish.
Peter, welcome.
Someone the
Okay,
mouth.
we used our first
There we
7
go.
minutes talking about a massage.
Yeah.
What I want to ask, what part of Italy do they do that massage?
They don't. They don't.
I mean, the only massage you get, most of the old people, they die from kidney problem. You know why? Every time they said the wrong word, the wife will give them the old elbow. Go ahead.
All right, listen. So
Lucille
Pete,
learned that trick.
Peter's in the house with us. Again, if you can get to YouTube, subscribe to our page, and plus we are staying on iTunes radios with 980 WCAP. We're happy to stay in the family with the 980 room.
Sam Poulter.
And then iTunes and all that stuff. But let's get to Peter. Peter, first of all, welcome, and thank you for coming, because we know you got a lot going on at this time of year.
Yeah, it's sort of, since we left the business, it started to slow down. We used to work 7 days a week with the Italian kitchen. And then, of course, we started out with just 2 products. And then when things started slowing down in Lawrence, we started doing catering. And we kept busy. And it was great.
A lot of people would say, Peter, the feast isn't the same without you.
Everybody
you there.
says that. Everybody says that.
I hear that. I hear it through the whole feast every year.
The Feast of St. Alfio, it's something's missing, and that's what it is.
Well, you know what it is? It has, I don't think it's because of me. It's just that I was there. You take
You see
a
the same
part of
face.
it.
You become part of the...
Exactly.
How many years, Peter?
53 years of making Crispellis.
Now, that's you. And prior to you was
With the Carusos?
Caruso's.
Now, let me set you straight.
Oh.
Okay.
He's going to set us straight.
I'm going to set you straight because everybody says that because they don't know what goes on behind
Behind the scenes.
Now we got it right here.
Okay, in the 50s, they started out 58. Actually, it was 3 older gentlemen. My father was one. It was 2 other gentlemen, right?
Yeah.
And they just made it for the feast. They just made the Crispellis.
Where were they located?
They were located on Union Street.
And Haverhill.
Haverhill.
In
Right
Haverhill,
at the corner.
Right at the corner?
Well, actually, you remember what Lucas Cafe was?
Sure.
They were next to it.
Okay.
Okay, and what they did is they would, at that time, they had a fryolator that it was actually not even a fryolator. It was just an oil pan on top of a stove, right? And they would, the anchovies came in a barrel. We had to peel them, take out the bone, and then they would fry them, and you know what I mean? And that would be it. It was one fryolator. Wow. And at that time, I think 200 pounds of flour would take care of the whole weekend. In the height of the feast, I was 2005, 2006.
How many pounds, Peter?
We used 2,000 pounds of flour.
Wow.
So you can.
And by the way, for our viewers across the country that are not from this area,
I was just going to say.
Crispellis, if you're a Sicilian, a lot of you know what Crispellis are because they're very plentiful in Sicily. It's basically a fried dough with either anchovy or ricotta in
Yeah,
it.
the way it started, it's not like today. Every household used to make bread, and they used to make it on a Saturday. And usually with the grain that they use from Italy, because most the land is dried, the bread will last almost all week. And then, of course, Friday, the bread got a little hard, and that's why they would make soups and stuff.
Right.
Break it down. And what they would do is, when they would make the bread on Saturday, they would get a little of the dough, bread dough, and they would make fried dough. But, it wasn't like today. They didn't have any TV or anything, you know what I mean? So they sat around.
So just dip it in and put some sugar on it or something like
right.
that? Yeah.
Even sugar, the old Italians, it wasn't until Columbus, we didn't have sugar. We use raisins for a lot of our dishes because raisins got a lot of brie, a lot of sugar. And that's what, even the...
I never knew that.
So anyway...
The Arabs really introduced the raisins to Sicily, didn't they, Peter?
Raisins, what they would do is when they pick the grapes, right?
They would leave.
Usually October, they pick the grapes. When they picked the grapes, they took the big bunches. Because of the leaves, the foliage, they wouldn't see the small bunches. So then once the leaves fell, you see the small bunches, but they'd be dehydrated. That's why you got ice wine. That's what it is
from that
dehydrated.
Concentrated sugar.
Right.
It's all sugar.
So they used to call it pasta fritta, didn't they?
Yeah, they call it pasta fritta. But the thing is, too, is because things were, things were tough. They would do anything because to have a glass of wine, it's not like today you take out the pretzels. So what they would do is they would wrap the anchovies. The anchovies was salty, will make them drink a little bit more.
So they would wrap them in the...
And then, of course, ricotta, which is... most of the ricotta was made from sheep's milk.
Right.
That's pecora. Pecora means, that's why pecorino, that means sheep. That's where that cheese comes from.
Okay.
And it was very, very easy. To make that ricotta, they just either use an acid like a lemon juice, and once you boil it to 180 degrees, the ricotta would surface, and then you just skin it out.
Skim it off.
You skin it out, and then, of course, they would add a little sugar to give it a little bit of flavor. And, of course, the same thing is like when you talk about cassata. The true cassata is not chocolate and vanilla.
It's the ricotta?
The ricotta. Of course, Americans are not used to that.
See, I love it.
That sheep smell to it in the cheese. Anyway, and that's how the Crispelli started. And they have them doing the feast because, it was a novelty.
Yeah, but Peter, and Mike, you can attest to this. How many people over the last 15 years, you and I have connected with a lot of our dear friends in the North End. How many would come down to our feast just for the Crispellis?
I know.
Right?
Yeah,
It was a tradition. Just like our feast, 98 years, we're going on our 99th feast. It's tradition, and people love old tradition.
Correct.
You look at our society, how many things have not changed? We still vote with black marbles and white marbles.
But
who does that today?
Well, there are some in the country, again, because a lot of people are not familiar with our organization.
Correct.
But I'm saying there are still organizations across the country that have feasts that are very similar to ours. But some of the real Sicilian traditions, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
In Italy...
Peter, you've been on the Vada, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
what is the Vada? Why don't you explain what the Vada is?
The Vada is the wagon that the three saints are placed on, and we process them on a parade or a route that we did 98 years ago.
Correct.
At the beginning. And Tommy, you've been Grand Marshal of that for quite a few years.
Yep.
And now Mark Leone is taking it over. But it's an honor.
Oh, absolutely. But Peter, the Crispellis really...
No, Crispellis, so we branched out. And then, of course, let me get back to the Carusos. So my father and three friends, then, of course, we came from Europe 55, right? And in those days, it's not like today. We did anything to put bread on the table.
Of course.
And
nothing was too good. Nothing was too small. You weren't embarrassed by doing anything.
Like myself, going through high school, I would work at Anna Laura's Bakery from
Right at the
11
corner.
to 7. Then when I would go to school.
Wow.
And the first teacher says, "Man, you smell really good like a bakery." And of course, because I've been up all night, the first period, right, I would eat my lunch. And they said, there's something odd about that guy.
Now, in that corner,
Yes.
Common Street and Jackson Street, what were the 4 bakeries, Peter?
Well, there was...
You mentioned Anna Laura's.
Yeah, there was Anna Laura's.
Pappy's.
There was Pappy's. There was Tripoli.
And what's the other one?
And the other one was Amore.
Amore.
I always forget
Yeah, me
that.
too.
And
Amore.
then don't forget all the, like, you take Fisicelli was a bakery.
Yeah.
They all used to make bread.
Yeah.
And then they went into pastry. So they took over, and then they did it during the feast. Then my father, for spare money, decided to open up every weekend. And we used to open Friday to Sunday.
Now, was this at the corner of Haverhill and Union?
No, we didn't go across the street yet. We still were near Lucas Cafe.
near the
Okay,
liquor-
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And the reason why, I'm embarrassed to say, the reason why we used to open on the weekend, because we didn't have any license or anything. We figured City Hall is not around.
That's what we like.
And we would make, at that time,
I love
the flour used to come, King Arthur used to come in 25-pound bags. And we mixed 2 mixes after we finished that. And the other thing we used to do is the rice ball. And a lot of people say, like, if you go all over the country, even in Italy, why the rice ball, what they do is they make a sauce, and because they make the sauce with tomato paste, they put meat. Then they break up the meat, and they put it in the rice ball.
Now, we're talking arancini. Some people know it as arancini.
Arancini.
But hold on, Peter. Your arancini, or rice balls, whatever you want to call them, did you have shredded chicken in yours?
Yes.
And I thought that made it. That made
me
it.
too.
Well,
that
you
was
know
a
what?
meal.
Yeah.
You know the reason why we had the shredded chicken? Nothing comes from nothing. When we cook the rice, right?
You use chicken stock.
That's exactly.
Oh.
So the chicken that we made, the chicken stock, what the hell are we going to do with it? So we would break it up and put it with the...
Peter, in my opinion, I don't know if you...
Meal and a half.
And not only that, but it's infinitely better than the arancini with the beef in it.
Absolutely.
Or the pork,
Well, it's...
I think.
I agree with you.
Food is matter of taste. When people ask me about wine, what kind of wine, I say, listen, wine is like picking a woman. Does everybody like the same woman? Or the same man?
Good point.
Everybody has their own choice. And you can't tell somebody, because... and then the thing, too, is... And then... Like myself, I've been studying wine, and they say, "Oh, that's great." No, sometimes the less you know, the better it is.
Well, Peter, we're going to talk about wine after the break.
So what
because
you're saying, simple is better?
Yeah. So let's get back to the rice ball.
Don't interrupt them.
The trick to the rice ball, what made them so unique. Number one, we use like Uncle Ben rice, which is more flaky than the burial rice, which is more sticky.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. The other thing, too, is we put bay leaves,
I didn't know that.
onions. So we put a background. It's like wine. When they say wine is complex, complex is like a book. Is it one page or is it many pages?
Didn't you add peas also?
Yes. Yeah. And peas was another thing that was sweet. They would add a lot of it.
Delicious.
And then the thing to do
You didn't bring any today, did you?
No, and then the other thing, it was like some of them, what they do is they dip it in flour, and then they make like an egg wash. We used to just put an egg wash, and then the color comes from a little tomato paste that we would put in there.
So would you add the tomato paste to the inside?
No.
Never.
No, what you do is you add just when the rice is almost done, right?
Yeah.
You just added a little tomato paste just to give that color. Because a lot of people eat
with their eyes.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean? So all these, and then the other thing which is strange from Italy than over here, the rice ball they like with sauce on top. Now in Italy they don't because it's finger food.
Right.
They put it in a napkin, you eat it like this. And United States...
Yeah, I don't like mine with sauce.
Well,
I do.
United States, the United States is different. In Europe, when you eat, everything is plain and you know what you're eating. Over here, everything is camouflage. We have to put a sauce on top.
We're chatting with Peter Messina. By the way, the last segment, we are going to be taking phone calls.
We're going to give it a shot.
Oh, you know who we can thank for this? Roger Trudell. Roger and I had a long talk.
Why are you thanking him? I've been on
You're out.
for
You're
2
out
years.
because Roger's my man. You're not. Roger is my man.
I understand.
So we had a nice chat. We can post the number later on, David? Okay. Yeah, we're going to be taking phone calls. If you have a question for Peter, call, ask whatever you'd like. If you don't have a question for Peter and you don't want to talk to Mike, don't call. Very simple, right?
All right. So that's now we still go back to the Carusos.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, though. We
Okay.
come back, we're going to finish the Caruso story, then we're going to talk about some vino. Because,
Okay.
I was a failure when
at
it came
this.
to the vino. I was a failure. And then, look at
I'm
this.
dying to hear about
Oh,
this.
yeah. All right, so we've got Peter Messina is in the house, the Crispelli King from Sicily. Hang in. We'll
Stay
be right
tuned.
back.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State inspection station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and Peter Messina is in the house. Peter, so just
it's amazing all the comments we're getting from.
Oh
people.
yeah, a lot of good stuff because it's him. That's why. But listen, real quickly. So how did it become Caruso's to the Italian Kitchen?
Well, Caruso was my brother-in-law. My father went into construction, so he gave the business to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law.
No, this was Joe.
Joe. Then my brother-in-law got involved with his other two brothers. And then in the 60s, I used to help him out. And then me and Steve took over. And then, of course, in 69, we opened up a place at the beach. And then
I don't remember.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
And then at 69...
You're talking Salisbury?
Salisbury. We were right across the street from the police station. In 69, Steve, because he was in the insurance, this is Pete.
What a nice
man.
You
you buy it or you sell it. So we decided to buy it, and then
The rest is history.
Me and my wife took over, and from that day on, everything changed. Like the stretcher, the Crispellis, we started using 2 fryolators, which was very important because one fryolator is 50 degrees lower. So it would help the product to expand, and then the other would help to cook it.
So let me ask you this question.
So
then.
it didn't. Crispelli didn't go into cold into really hot oil.
And at one time,
gradual?
yeah, at one time they used to use in frying pans. They just used to fry the dough. But you got to understand about fryolators. Fryolators, the tubes are in between. And because all the droppings drop below that, it doesn't burn the shortening. And then the other thing, too, is, of course, in Europe, they use whatever they had to fry. They use lard.
Sure.
And it would give it an excellent taste. They would use, they didn't have soybean. They used olive oil, which is a problem. Olive oil got a low burning point. So the thing about soybean, it's unique because it doesn't give an aftertaste to the product, and then
interesting stuff.
And then because I learned from the donut, they used to dunk the donut. I came up with that because we used to stir with the paddle, and you couldn't get them just right color by submerging them. Not only do you get the right color, but they were cooking half of the time.
Oh, really?
Because they were cooking both sides.
They would come out golden. But Peter, one last
nice color.
One last Crispelli question. Most Crispellis, unless I'm wrong, that I've seen in Sicily around, yours were elongated though, right?
Yeah, no, listen. The reason why is the shape. Because you had the ricotta and the anchovies. If they're both round, how can you tell the difference? By having the other thing too is the anchovy.
Simple answer.
Because it was long, you make them long.
Simple answer. And I never thought about that.
Now,
and then we came up, of course, when we first started, we used to laugh at people that used to buy them plain.
I know.
Plain with sugar. They're getting ripped off. They getting nothing. And then toward the end, like in
Ronnie Valenti, what did he have? He had some kind of a special he used to make for him.
With the ricotta and the anchovy.
Oh, he used to do both.
He was a character. He came on your radio station one time and he mentioned that. Next thing you know, people are showing up at the place. I said,
he did.
Because you got to understand, because his is round, you got to hold up the whole fryer just for those.
Valenti's a riot. He had to have his Crispellis made.
Funniest guys.
And then he'd go to Fisicelli's.
Double cook.
They had to be burnt.
Yeah, well, his mother must have dropped them a couple of times in his head, number one. Number two, he comes over the house. I have San Pellegrino. He'll never drink San Pellegrino if it's in a plastic bottle. He's got to drink it in
the glass. He's unbelievable. All right, listen, let's talk wine. You have become really a wine connoisseur as far as really making wine. You've made some great quality wines. Peter, in the early days, I'm going back 20 years ago, a couple of times we used to go over to Dominic's to make wine. Yeah. Everybody, there would be 10 or 15 of us making wine, and we'd all bring our own bottles, get the corks. I think you used to provide the corks or something. Yeah. My wine always, Peter, what the hell was I doing wrong? Everybody else's came out great. Mine always came out sour, and I used to have to dump it.
The one thing I want to say to our listeners, we have approximately 170 members in the St. Alfio Society. Everybody goes to this guy for advice.
For wine advice. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you really hold class. You're like a professor.
Were my bottles contaminated, Peter? Was the cork contaminated?
Quick lesson about... number one
Pay attention.
I am.
The biggest thing about wine, you know what it is? 80-90% is the grapes. That's number one. Number two is because they're getting their money's worth, a lot of the grapes, the good grapes, they don't ship them to us. Now, the other thing you know when you're making wine, right, everything has to be spotless.
Sterilized.
You know why? If you go in an operating room, your body still can fight bacteria, but the wine can't not fight bacteria. The other problem is the biggest killer of wine is what? Oxidation. Oxidation is air. You take a Beaujolais, it's good for 2 years. For every day that bottle is open, it ages a year. You take a Bordeaux that takes 30 years to be ready. So, but is it natural, or is it you made it? Then
there are young wines and there are wines that need to be aged.
And the reason why it's very, very easy. Most people don't even know why we crush the grapes. Remember Albalusi?
Oh, sure.
You know why you crush the grapes? If you look at a red grape, the film on the outside, that's the yeast. So when you crush it, the yeast, which is a living organism, eats the sugar on the juice, and the byproduct is carbon dioxide and alcohol.
Seriously?
Wow.
So all alcohol comes...
David, are you taking notes?
All alcohol comes either from sugar, like if you're making whiskey.
Yeah.
It's grain, which is starch. The starch turns into sugar. Don't forget, like this product here, all brandies come from fruit. All alcohol comes from grain.
Right.
Okay?
Now, let me ask you a question. The grapes that you use, would you try to get grapes like that are popular in... There's certain grapes that grow in Italy
some of these
that don't grow here, correct? Certain...
Well, the grape, you got to understand the grapes. The start of the grapes were like a dozen grapes, vine, right? Which I call them the hybrids. The hybrids, right?
Yeah.
Not the hybrids. I call them. They're like horses. They're
like soup. So you got Super Tuscan,
right?
Grape,
well,
a wine. So what's that made out of? What type of
Peter,
grape?
would you like one?
Yeah, I'll have a little bit. So the what
Super
happened?
Tuscan wine. What kind of grape?
That grape's most of this is Cabernet. Okay. Unless you're talking about a Chianti is...
Chianti's very popular.
Yeah, it's 90%, 75% Sangiovese and the other 15%. Like if you look at a Bordeaux, if you put your finger up, Bordeaux, and the left side, it looks like an L.
Yeah.
That means they use most of it 85% cab. While if you go into the left side of the river, most of it they used Merlot.
So when do you buy the juice or do you buy grape? You
I do the whole 9 yards.
So you buy the grape from scratch,
right?
And you have a press.
All right.
Now what you do is the thing is it's
do it.
the old.
I tried. I didn't get it right. I screwed it up.
The old Italians, they used to get the grapes, put it between their fingers, and squeeze it. Because it's got sugar, it would stick. They would tell how much sugar there was in there.
Jesus.
You got to love it.
You got to be kidding me.
Now, wait a minute. The new, we have what they call...
The man is talking.
The new, we have a reflector. We lift up the reflector, we lift up the scope.
Don't even touch that yet. You wait. Let's be a little courteous.
We put the juice, and that tells us how much sugar there is in that juice. By multiplying that by 0.55, we know exactly how much alcohol we're going to get.
All right, let's talk about these now. These are liqueurs that you've made yourself.
Right.
Well, this is the first one we're trying. This is a raisin brandy.
Right. What I do is any wine that oxidize, I have what they call a column stills. There's two types of still. There's a pot still.
It's called a what?
A column still or reflex.
Column.
See, this is very good.
Yeah, I was trying to pick the flavor as soon as you said raisin. I'm like, that's what it is.
It's raisin, but it's not. It's not. It goes down really. It's really smooth.
Yeah.
Peter.
So what you do is a column still. What it does is a pot still. Everything boils down, and then into a steam, and then they cool it down. And it goes into vapor, and then it goes back into liquid. But because some of the water and the taste goes into the other side, you get a taste of it. A column still, what it does is it goes up, and as it goes up, there's either marbles or stainless steel chips. And as it goes up, what happened, the water molecules are a lot heavier. They come back down. And then the alcohol just keep travel. The only problem is that alcohol has no taste at all. It tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Really?
So what we do is we get the wine that oxidized. In other words, it's lost its taste.
Yeah.
And we remove the alcohol. So when we get to remove the alcohol, which is about 92 proof.
And I've been throwing mine out.
And what I do is I fuse it. Like this one, I put it 3 weeks sitting with the raisins. Then I remove the raisins because it's too strong.
Ellen, my wife is a brandy drinker.
Yeah.
She would love that.
You take that.
This is surprising.
Can I take this?
Yes.
Ellen, do you mind?
This is
No.
surprising.
Oh, Ellen would love that. Is it good, you guys?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I can't wait to try the other flavors.
Now,
Let's go.
this is it's pineapple. What I do is I get a case of pineapple.
Break it open, Pete. Mikey,
Now-
can you pass a couple of those little?
Because
You have some extra cups there, right? Yeah.
Because I don't get the recipe. I've tried it many different times.
Now this is pineapple.
Pineapple, taste it, and this is. I think this is the best I've made from this.
Peter, with all due respect, don't be so cheap.
Here, pour your own. Don't use the same glass.
No,
we're not. Now this is pineapple.
Pineapple. Now, if you're making a pina colada, you add this. Did you taste the pineapple?
Oh God, yeah.
You don't know. You don't like it.
Mine's got weird shit in it.
she doesn't care for it.
Oh, you don't like the pineapple?
Mine's got legs. Very large legs. Okay, cool. Just making sure it was all.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, that's me all
This
day.
is delicious.
Not bad, right?
Peter, now talk.
Yeah, I'll take another of those.
So we do is
bartender.
Remember, we have another show after this.
What show?
What
yeah,
show?
it's gonna be the best show we
where
ever
am
did.
A little more? You want a little more?
I would love some more of that. Oh my goodness.
All right, so we'll give this one to Chris.
Well,
Chris, you take this home.
Yeah.
Oh my
what you do is you
yours.
get the regular pineapple and you let it you fuse it with the alcohol, and then after that you break it down with distilled water. Make sure it's distilled water because it's pure water.
Oh, this is A-OK.
Peter, how do you put these cups
This
back
is
on?
A-OK.
You broke it.
I know. Really good.
Yeah, you're drunk already. So you're
So
No.
what proof
we're
is
fine.
that?
What's that?
Peter,
Chris?
what
How-
proof
how
is it?
strong?
It
Like
can't be that strong, right?
What proof would that be roughly?
Like
like about it's about regular alcohol is like 40.
40 proof.
This is
80
probably
proof.
maybe about
It's 40% alcohol, 80 proof.
Yeah, but they use a different system because if it's 100%, it can't be 200 proof.
Gotcha.
So when our product is 40 proof, right? I mean, it's 80 proof. It's actually 40 proof.
Right.
In a scale from 1 to 100.
So what is this?
Oh, okay.
This is about maybe 50, 60 proof. You see it?
I'm just trying to figure out how hammered I'm gonna get off of this.
Well,
how many can I have before I forget how to do my job?
Well, the thing about, let me tell you a story about wine in the old timers. when the old timers used to make wine, they would use sugar because they knew sugar turned into alcohol, right? The problem they didn't
Someone's
know.
asking us to pass it through the screen.
Yeah.
Mike Variali.
We wish we could.
Mike's in Long Island. He's asking to pass it through the screen.
Yeah,
And the
cheers
problem
to
is
that,
when they
Mike.
use sugar, right, in the yeast, right, could not eat raw sugar. If you make it into a syrup, it can digest it. So the sugar would stay in it, and the wine would become sweet. Now, the old timers, they worked in the shops and stuff all week, 5.5 days, right? So came Sunday, big dinner, few drinks. So, of course, they eat. What was the thing after dinner? They all had to go to bed. You know why? They thought they were drunk, but they weren't drunk because they add sugar into their wine. The wine was sweet.
And
what happened is when the sugar gets into your bloodstream, it slows down the oxygen going into your brain. So they were loony.
I was loony going into this. How's this going to be?
All right, listen,
You're
look
giving
at
yourself quite an education.
Oh, yeah.
wait, see,
All right,
look.
listen, we're going to take a quick break.
Another one? Where did the time go?
When we come
That's
back,
all right. We'll pour some
This
more
is the
drinks.
final.
Yeah, we got
this
two
is
more.
our final segment. We have 2 more to try. We're going to post a phone number. If you want to give us a call, you can chat with Peter. Peter, you know what we're going to have to do? All kidding aside, we had a lot to cover today. So you're going to have to come back, shortly, because we have...
Whenever you're playing racquetball, drop by.
Well, 3 days a week.
Because we're not going to be able to get into the actual, Sicilian food and stuff. We can touch upon it, but we want to get you back. All right, Peter Messina's in the house. We're going to take a quick break.
Tommy, I'm thinking something.
Hold on. David, will you pick her up off the floor, please? Thank you. All right, we'll be right
I'm fine.
We'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
All right.
Okay, we are back. Can we have the phone number, guys?
Sure.
Do we have a
can
phone
do
number?
that. Yeah. Well, I'm putting it on the screen
What?
right now.
Rico, what do you think?
Anyone that wants to call
Rick,
in.
you got to try. It's homemade. Peter Messina, homemade from Sicily, made that.
Rico.
Salud. Salud. Look at Petrocelli. He just drank it in 2 seconds.
So, anyone that wants to call in.
Yes.
603-704-3200.
32.
Extension 800.
800.
All right. Let's do it.
603-704-3200, extension 800. You want to call in and chat with Peter? All right. We have to try one more now, Peter. What is this? This
got
was
lemon-
maple?
Maple, right.
Did you try the maple?
Oh, I've tried them all.
And then, of course, limoncello.
Uh-oh,
Have another
Rico's
one,
in
Rick.
trouble.
Let me ask you about the limoncello. Should that be kept in the freezer?
Oh, wait a minute. This isn't the maple. This is the. Isn't it good,
Peter?
Yeah.
Should the limoncello be kept in your freezer?
Yeah, you can keep them all in the freezer. The reason why...
You can keep all of these in the freezer?
Yes.
The alcohol won't?
Oh, Ellen.
No.
Let me tell you something. This is going to get me big points tonight, Peter, with Ellen.
Oh, you're in like Flynn.
I'm telling you right now, this is going to get me big points. Big points from my wife.
Let's get back to the wine. The thing about the wine is you got some pointers. And the big thing is the early fathers, their wine would spoil because they couldn't drink a barrel all at once.
Right.
So once they tapped the barrel, of course, air would get in it, and of course, it would oxidize. The thing today is we have barrels with, there's many ways. They got Vaseline that they pour in the barrel. Because the Vaseline rise to the top.
Really?
Yeah, it forms a vacuum. They put covers that will drop to where the level of the wine is, and then when they add air, will seal it. Then they got liquid nitrogen that they put in,
Pump
which
it
is
to
a
it.
lot lighter, and it stays on top, so the wine doesn't oxidize.
Interesting.
And the other thing, too, is a lot of people have trouble with red wine and white wine. They put...
We talked about that the other night. Remember at Dominic's? Yeah. I said to him, I says, Peter, I'm not a wine drinker. You know, I'm a martini drinker. I'm a vodka drinker. And I said, the main reason that wine bothers me, it gives me indigestion, a heartburn.
That's interesting.
Well,
I love wine.
But he hit it on the head. You said it's maybe because of the sulfites.
Well, the sulfites, they put them in. You got to understand, sulfite has been around for thousands of years. Now, what they used to do in the olden days, they used to make these big barrels.
We have a phone call.
We do, we do. Roger's on
Roger,
the
how are you?
Let's bring him in here. One moment. All right.
Hey, Raj, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Dave.
Oh, can we hear him? Bad connection. Raj, can you speak?
Dave, are you there?
Yeah, we can hear
Roger, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, no problem.
Do you have a question for
You got
Peter?
a question for us?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good, good.
Yeah, I get a ton of questions for Peter.
Well, we'll take one.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll take one question.
Does he realize he's a chemist, number one?
Absolutely.
Number two, is he passing this knowledge down to the future generations? 'Cause
That's a
I've
good
tried
question.
to
That's a good question.
do my trade, and, boy, they're reluctant.
Well, actually, Peter, you've passed it down to the St. Alfio guys.
Well, the thing, too, is I have a big problem. Like
4 minutes.
Roger, thank you.
I have all this knowledge.
you're welcome.
I have all this knowledge, and I would like to, I can give you, a multi-class, but I'll give you a condensed class. I could be talking about soil. I could be talking about cuttings. I could be talking about the vine, how the vine is very, they like stress. People don't know that the best wine is going to Bordeaux. What makes that Bordeaux so unique is because they got 3 meters of gravel. Now, all growth needs fertilized soil, but yet wine, the grapes is so unique. And the roots, if they don't like wet feet, that means if they're looking for water, they'll go down 60, 70, 80 feet.
No.
Down. And the other thing, too, is the roots are made like hair. They like hot days in California. They like hot days and cold nights. Why? Because hot days, the rock heat up. Cold nights, the rock sweats. Because rocks are mineral, the roots grab the mineral, and that's where you get. And what makes the wine is the type of the grape is number one. The other thing is the soil.
Soil is very important. Volcanic rock. Volcanoes add so much nutrients to the soil.
Right.
Mount Etna. Listen, we've got about 2 minutes left, Peter. Before we end this, next week we have a guest coming in. Before Christmas, can we get you back in the studio before Christmas? Well, we'll talk off the air.
Right, yeah.
And the only reason being is we're going to be doing a couple of shows, not on a Friday. Unlike we're going to be doing one on a Tuesday, so we don't have to work on Christmas Eve day.
Right.
Maybe we can get you in for that
All
show.
right.
Just because we just
everybody wants you back.
And
That's
we just scratched the surface about all of this. The next time we want to talk about. I mean, you know your wine, but you also know your food and your sauce, and we want to talk about all of that.
Okay.
Tell them it's going to cost them, Peter.
No,
hold on. One last thing that we're going to work on this. We're going to wait till I get back from Florida in the spring, but we want to do a wine night here so that we can do a class where whoever wants to come up here, and you can teach them. Just kind of carry your knowledge, bring it over to them. Fair enough?
Sure thing.
Sounds like a plan.
I think we're just about out of time, guys.
Yeah, pretty close.
Peter.
Pretty close.
Thank you so much, man.
It was a pleasure.
We love having you. And Ellen, coming home, baby.
Look what Daddy's got for you, Alan.
Look at Petrocelli. He's on the floor. Just amazing. Isn't it good? All right, we're going to take we're done. Peter, again, thanks so much for coming by. And to our viewers and listeners, remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone. And Mikey?
We want you to join YouTube, by the way. And the word America, Peter, what kind of a word is that?
Mike, have another drink.
Get that man another drink.
As he was trying to say, the word America is a beautiful Italian word.
Have a great week.
A salute. Take care.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.